All right, hello and welcome to the March 4th, 2022 episode of Around the Block. I'm your host, Dave Yornak. I'm the Director of Blockchain Strategy here at Tron DAO. And Around the Block is Tron DAO's effort to engage with our community in a continuous fashion and is a mark of our commitment to our community's growth. This series interviews leaders in the blockchain space and explores the technical, philosophical, and social implications of our industry. You can find Around the Block each week as we stream it live on the DLive protocol and also on the Tron DAO YouTube channel. DLive protocol is one of the largest blockchain live streaming services where people can have their own channels. So with us this week is our guest, Professor Kani Chen. Professor Kani Chen is from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. He's the director of the Department of Mathematics. He's a fellow of the Institute of Mathematical Statistics, and he's the director of the Crypto-FinTech Lab at HKUST, and also of the MSc Financial Mathematics group. So during his career, Professor Chen has published more than 50 papers, and they have titles like Global Partial Likelihood for Non-Parametric Proportional Hazards Models. And another title is Curiosity-Driven Recommendation Strategy for Adaptive Learning via Deep Reinforcement Learning, Curiosity-Driven Adaptive Learning. So in short, he's pretty brilliant, and he's nice enough to join me today and hopefully to enlighten me a bit about his interesting work. Mostly, he focuses on artificial intelligence, statistics, and he does some work in blockchain. So, Connie, thank you for joining us today. I know we have a number of topics to get through. I thought we could start with some of your work in artificial intelligence. Could you elaborate a bit on your work there, and maybe could you talk to us about if you see an intersection between AI and blockchain, and if so, where might that be, and what are some of the likely applications?
Okay, thank you, Dave. Actually, I see that you have a theme of bringing experts around, and I am kind of flattered to be called experts, which I don't 100% agree. So speaking about the AI projects that I did, I pretty much focus on the financial applications of AI projects. So we have done several AI-related financial applications. One of them is rely on generative data like GAN, VAE. So we try to produce synthetic data that can be used for the industry. So for example, they can actually train a trading strategy on the synthetic data and test that on the real data. And this way, they have the uniqueness of the synthetic data provided by us. So this is the motivation for one of the projects. And the other one is based on reinforcement learning. This one, we are working with a company, and actually we are able to improve their strategies in portfolio management. And this has contributed to the profit and performance of that company, which is a local robo-advisor company, which is quite kind of famous in Hong Kong. That is Magnum Research. They have a brand called Akuma, which is a quite successful fintech company. But the earlier ones that I talked about, that is generate synthetic data, we are still in the early stage. We are still not able to produce a product. It's still like in a test stage. And the third one is we try to apply the ensemble learning technology, try to build a master, we call master algorithm, to do financial trading. This is the intuition is there, but the task is difficult. I can guess that there are many companies working on the same topic and probably similar techniques. In the end, who wins, I don't know. But a few years back, I I met someone from a friend of mine who is managing a very large fund, and he told me that they trained a robo trader that actually successfully is improving over itself and has been profitable over at least for that year. Their performance is increasing. So the I think the bone marrow of this whole thing is that you can build a trading strategy that can improve over itself. That is the hard part. Okay, if we say find one or two or a few trading strategies that work in the short term, that's not a very difficult task. But
So,
if you can
Professor,
build something, yeah.
let me ask you, is this robo-advisor you were talking about, is this one of the projects you have ongoing within the crypto lab that the students work on?
That not necessarily. That's our own research. In the crypto lab, let me talk about the crypto lab, the Crypto-FinTech Lab. In our lab, we have a number of students, more than 30 students. And the mission of the lab, there are three folds. One is research, and we have a number of research topics led by professors, and the other is education. Education is what I think the main part. I always think that education is the most important. And the founder of the lab, which is vice president of our university, always say that, well, we want to build our lab as the West Point of the financial technology in the Bay Area, maybe around China.
That's interesting. So, why do you think he selected West Point as his example?
Well, West Point, well, in Chinese, we say Huangpu. There is a military school that we call Huangpu. But if we translate, if I say it's Huangpu Junxiao, then people don't quite understand, outside China. But, it's a kind of build it as a standard school to cultivate talents, and so we can produce talents to the industry. This is actually, I totally 100% agree. In fact, in my view, the challenges in the future is about the education. It's much more about education, about compliance, than about technological breakthrough. Okay. Speaking about our lab, now we also do a lot of applications. Some of them are dApps, decentralized applications. There are a number of projects going on, so I can talk about maybe a few of them. One of them is what we call metaversal learning, which is still focused on education.
So you call this metaversal learning?
And the name of the project is called Metaversal
And
learning.
Is that related to kind of the metaverse that's evolving right
related.
now?
The design is related. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just say a few words about it. So there are several, I think, innovations. One is the learners can earn. Okay. The other is they can entertain. It's kind of a edutainment. We always say edutainment, education in entertainment, or entertainment in education. And there's also interactive advertisement built into the learning platform that the learners don't even know that this is an advertisement. So this will generate the income to, these are like the blood to the platform. And also, we also built in adaptive learning technologies to maximize the learners' learning efficiency. And lastly, because it's built on blockchain, so the learners have provable and verifiable skills, and this can be used later. So this is a kind of blockchain version of Udemy plus Duolingo plus LinkedIn. So that is one of the projects. Another one is a decentralized exchange, which aimed to improve Uniswap version 3. In Uniswap version 3, we know Uniswap is one of the companies I admire most. They had a lot of innovations that lead the market. The version 3 is now by far the most dominating exchange. And what we try to do, we say we have a model that is in market we trust. We try to give all the freedom to the liquidity providers, and then give the best prices to the traders to manage a balance. This is, I think, the innovation in this protocol that we call multi-swap. Okay, temporarily named as multi-swap. Okay.
Okay. Did did Uniswap begin at your school?
Uniswap is not. Uniswap is one of the best decentralized exchange. We have Uniswap version 2 that brought AMM in, and we have Uniswap version 3 that brought the concentrated liquidity, and they always lead the crypto market, and that is really fascinating company.
What is it you think about, and I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but why do you think Uniswap is leading in the innovation and evolution of that decentralized trading?
Okay, yeah. Now, first of all, the so-called constant product automatic market making is a scheme that led by them, and I think that is one of the reasons we had the DeFi boom, the year earlier, the DeFi summer in 2020, and last year in May, they introduced the range order in version 3, and that also revolutionized the decentralized exchange. So they do have innovations that always will rock the market. So that is we learn from them. We learn a lot from them, and we also try to improve over the protocols of Uniswap version 3 and others. And also another project I want to mention is it's called Pre-Stair. This is a borrowing lending protocol that aim to solve the problem of over collateralization. We know in decentralized finance, when you borrow something, you have to collateralize more than you want to borrow. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and this is a project.
So how do you solve that problem given the volatility of the assets?
That's right. Yeah. It has to be some kind of innovation, because I think people in this area, in this industry, all want to solve the problem. Okay, this is so-called holy grail, and it involves a lot of risk. Okay, if you try to downsize the collateral ratio, say if you want to borrow 100 and you only collateralize 100. 100 of certain assets, and then when the price is lower, then we will suffer. The platform will suffer. Okay, so this is that's why we have over collateralization, which is very, very understandable. But if whether there exists a reliable protocol that can lower the collateralized ratio to like below 1, that is a very hard problem. Okay.
So would it require some type, or are you working on some type of derivative trading strategy to, kind of collar the underlying asset?
That's a good idea. There are people working on that, but our idea is very simple. I always say that the ideas that revolutionize an industry does not have to be a very complex one. Sometimes it can be a very simple one. We just introduce a so-called credit token. Okay, we have a way to compute the credit token. Basically, to put it simple, okay, so if you are a user of our platform, and in the past, we made, say, $1,000 out of the business transactions with you, then we can use 500 of that as a credit from you, okay? So that next time when you come here to borrow money from me, I can use that $500 as a credit, okay? You don't have to fully collateralize, because you can use
because you some of the earnings you had at the company, because you used their services, whatever, you generated this kind of goodwill, so to speak, with them, that stays at the company, and then when you borrow, say you borrow that $1,000, you only
Yeah.
need to have 500 because you have 500 at the company. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
still completely collateralized. It's just where it comes from.
Yeah, there are also other features like we can actually make the credit token tradable. So there are a lot of several other functionalities that make it work.
So
Yeah,
what if let's try to relate this to something like Amazon. Amazon's pretty widely known. Everyone knows it. So let's say I shop on Amazon quite a bit, and through all my purchases, I generate some type of rewards, and they accumulate to 500, whatever, 500x. Then I go to borrow. Now we'll say Amazon lends
that's
money.
right.
So I go to borrow $1,000 from Amazon, and they say you can have the $1,000, but you have to put up $500 of your own as collateral in the same bucket as your $500 of rewards.
Yeah, Dave,
Okay.
you got the point. You got the point. Yeah. So
Okay.
in
I just wanted to make
conventional,
sure our audience was getting it. Sometimes it's easier to relate to if it can be something everyone, all of our users understand.
that's right. Yeah. In in the conventional finance world, we have identities. So and we have assets, we have so-called credits that
Hmm.
was built based on our past transactions as well as our assets. So that is relatively easier to build the credit for someone, and people can
Yeah.
use that credit to borrow money and to do financial maneuvers. But in the crypto world, uh, there is no identity of anyone. Okay, so there is only a wallet address. So to rely on the past transaction history to
Hmm.
give a credit to the wallet is, I think, this is a reasonable way to do
So
it.
the transaction history. So what would that transaction history be looking at in the wallet? Trading or the
It's
level of assets in the wallet?
it's yeah, most likely it's the interaction between the wallet and the platform. So
Hmm.
you can see that is the one that is traceable. But of course we can analyze. We have big data analysis of all the wallets and evaluate uh, the risk of each wallet.
Yeah.
That is doable. That is actually not just by us. I think by many people. Nansen has done very well. That's also a very prestigious protocol project.
Hmm. What, I'm sorry, what did you say the name of it was?
And Nansen, there is a project called Nansen.
Okay.
Mhm.
Manson?
No, Nansen,
Nansen.
Nan. Yeah,
Oh, NZN.
yeah,
Okay. Hmm.
yeah. That's a very respectable project. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not familiar with it. It is a lending platform.
No. This is like decentralized. It has a number of services, but one of them, why I mention it is because it provides wallet analysis.
Oh,
Because
okay.
in blockchain, all wallets are open. Okay, so
Yeah.
you can grab the data and present the data and do analysis and produce results. Yeah,
So
that is what we
how does
call
it,
analytics. Yeah.
can it look for different elements of a wallet so it can scan a large number of wallets, gather that analytics, and then perform some type of analytics to understand the different
Yeah,
characteristics? Does it
that's
create like
right.
a baseline
Yeah.
of wallet activity or wallet, you know,
Well, you can produce a number of
yeah, you can look at a
results.
variety of
For
ways.
example, they have, say, whale wallets, the wallets of that
Uh-huh.
hold a large quantity of certain tokens.
Yes,
So their
I have one of
movements,
those.
they buy or sell. That may be an indication of the market movement. So
Uh-huh.
type of thing, which can be easy, but can be quite useful, quite attractive to users, to traders.
Yeah, for traders, sure. So is
Mm.
there anything similar? Like, would there be a corollary to that in the equity markets?
In
Maybe like
equity
the,
markets, yeah, that's a very good question. In equity markets, there are big movers, right?
hmm
Uh, for example, if you hold a company's stock beyond 5%, for example, then
yeah,
it's disclosed. You have to disclose, and
right,
then you buy and sell. It's displayed, but it's not displayed instantly.
right. It's
Okay,
only
so it's
quarterly
difficult
or
to use
whatever.
that information.
Uh-huh.
But still, once we have that information, that could be an indication of what we should do next.
Really, yeah, or money flows. I mean, that would be, you could track it with money flows into
Hmm.
and out of certain positions. That might be something similar. So that's kind of in effect what this tool does is track money flows into and out of wallets, at least this one thing,
Yes.
and into and out of positions. That's
Hmm.
really interesting, and they're part of your lending project. You utilize their
That is
services.
not. That is not. I'm
Okay.
just saying that for lending and borrowing, the platforms can manage to produce some service, okay, like giving users some help about the market movement. For example, about the uh, the collateral ratio or TVL of this platform and maybe of other platforms. So if you are a user coming to my platform, I can make a comparison of other platforms service and my service, and so you can tell which one is better or which one is worse,
hmm
like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Let's move on now. I'd like to learn a little bit about project. I believe it's pronounced Digis or Digis. It's your
Yeah, Digis. Yeah,
Digis. Okay, now
yeah,
that's
Digis is.
an
Mm-hmm.
insurance application you're developing. Very, very kind of nuts and bolts old economy. Um, Developing a new model. I know there's a lot of activity in that space here in the U.S. What are you working on?
For Digis, this is a kind of one-stop, all-in-one insurance protocol. It insures people's crypto assets,
Oh, it's a
protects them
crypto
from.
asset insurer. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really interesting. I like the crypto asset insurance space. It's kind of like private FDIC insurance or private government insurance for bank accounts, right?
that's right.
It's
Yeah,
filling that void. And
yeah,
so I think it's really important. It's a really important application as crypto evolves and people begin to use crypto, just use their crypto wallet versus a traditional bank account. They're going to want to insure that wallet to protect against loss,
exactly,
especially if that's all
exactly,
their assets, right? So
exactly.
I think it's a really good idea. How's
Yeah.
your project coming along? And, is this something that students are involved with, or where does it stand currently?
Uh, Actually, it's going to be launched 2 days later, 7th of this month.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it has been quite successful in fundraising,
Hmm.
and I think many of the investors and people in the DeFi area like the idea. So
Yeah, I
it
think it's a really
managed
good idea.
yeah, to protect the crypto owners from all kinds of risks,
Hmm
like price volatility, like implement loss, like wallet risks that you just mentioned,
hmm
as well as maybe even the smart contract failures.
Yeah,
So, and in fact, we have some characteristics built in the platform, like to protect and to earn and to play, to entertain.
yeah.
Entertaining is always one element of attracting users. And
hmm
also, we hope to build towards a protection aggregator. So yeah, in the future,
A protection
we hope that.
aggregator. What does
Yeah,
that mean?
Well, aggregator means that you can, for example, 1inch is a very good aggregator of trading. So
Uh-huh.
they can grab information from other exchanges and produce the best price for the traders. And protection aggregator means that suppose in the protection market, in the insurance market, there are several insurance protocols, projects.
Okay.
They offer different prices. And then the aggregator can give the user the best price by citing others. Okay. So
Ah, okay.
that's what aggregator does. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I
Mhm.
understand that. So with Digis, is the buyer the wallet, or is the buyer the kind of the wallet provider, or is it the actual consumer? Right. So who's
We don't provide wallet. It's just
no, but
an
the wallet
insurance.
would the wallet provider purchase this to make it a product or feature that's inherent on their for their wallets, to attract users, or is the user actually the wallet holder who might have a wallet
Users are
anyway?
wallet holder. We don't actually
Okay.
know the name, the identity of the
Yeah.
users. Okay. When we say users, they refer to the wallets.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, wallet is held by someone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are people come in to provide liquidity, and there are people come in to buy the insurance and people to sell insurance. So
Yeah.
this platform is a kind of service to generate the insurance service and for people to buy and sell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting. See, if I was a wallet creator or a provider of digital wallets or crypto wallets, much like Tron is, I would consider offering this service as something as a feature of my platform that would help differentiate me, and then it removes the burden from the consumer of having to go purchase something additional. It's just there within what I'm doing, right?
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that becomes more interesting. So I would not be surprised to see your company get scooped up by a large wallet provider sometime soon.
I hope so.
Yeah,
to
I
to
bet.
create wallet, it's I think this is also a sector of DeFi,
Yeah.
and that is a very complex work. We have MetaMask, which is dominating the market of wallets. We have all kinds of wallets now. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, we certainly do. Um, all right, one other thing I want to touch on is you have a project, and we kind of talked about the Robo-Advisor project, but I think this is the Robo-Advisor project that's on your website, and you use KYC Plus. Um,
Mhm.
so could you talk about that? I mean, KYC is a really hot topic, I think, right now within digital assets, within the crypto world, and certainly within the US as, regulators try to figure out how to regulate the space.
Mhm.
KYC is going to be something that's very critical. So I'd be interested in your efforts there.
Or the reason that we call that KYC is quite ordinary, I would say that because many companies does that, and it
Hmm.
is necessary for many of the financial services. And even in DeFi world, there are protocols that just does KYC, okay,
Hmm.
for other protocols. But what we call KYC plus is uh, we do not just do KYC. KYC means I want to know who you are, maybe how old you are, where you from, these informations about your identity. But KYC plus, that plus part means try to understand your risk preference and about your financial goals. And this way, these information we grab that, and this will help you manage your asset. So we will tailor make a portfolio that is personalized for you only. Okay, so this is not about identity, but about your
Sort
financial
of risk
preferences.
tolerance,
That's
financial
right,
goals,
exactly,
that type of
exactly.
thing. But it
Yeah,
also includes identity. So
it also includes, yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Um, okay, great. Those are really interesting topics. You are really on, I think, the forefront of blockchain and crypto.
Thank
Um,
you.
so Can we touch on a little bit about the crypto program at your university? Just maybe talk about the enrollment and what the students are learning. I know they all have internships that they get within the
Mhm.
program or from the program. So I'd like to learn a more about that. And then, are there other similar programs within kind of the schools that you see, what you would consider your peer schools?
Yes, yes, yeah. Uh, okay, yeah. In HKUST, there are several programs involving financial technology, and
Hmm.
we have Crypto-FinTech Lab, which I'm working on, and we also have a financial technology MSc program, and we
Hmm.
have also risk management program, undergraduate program, which I am a co-director. And in our financial mathematics program, we also, students also engage in finance of, we say, alternative asset that refer to crypto asset,
Hmm.
because this is also a financial market. So about so these different programs, we also interact with each other, not just in terms of education. Sometimes we share courses, but also in terms of doing projects. We have a boot camp for the Crypto FinTech Lab. So we
Hmm.
try to recruit students and we train them. And afterwards, we
Yeah.
offer them, yeah, we offer
Now,
them
now I
company
read.
interns or offer them opportunities to do projects in the lab or with other projects.
So I
Yeah.
read that they're trained in developing smart contracts. Um, what else? What other skills do they get trained in? And is all the training very technical, or are there, kind of soft skills you try to develop
Yeah,
in the
that's a
program?
good question. Because in order to do projects, actually, we need different kinds of talents.
Hmm.
One of them is technical. Okay, for technical ones, we require programming. This is so-called blockchain development. So we require programming in, say, for example, Solidity. But there are also other technical skills that we require. That is like big data, AI, they can be very
Hmm.
useful. Some of
Yeah.
our projects, for example, we have an NFT liquidity project that rely on a price discovery. And this price discovery for NFT is based on data analysis. So that kind of skill
Hmm.
is technical skill that we really want very much. The other talent or skill that we want is about marketing, about what we say is interpersonal skills. You
Hmm.
need to understand the product, interact with teammates, and interact with outsiders, the community members and investors, and so on. Okay, so that kind of skill is actually it's in my view, it's in large part is built in our personality. This is a kind of skill which I think is also very important, very critical
Yeah.
to the projects.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's great. So where, what are some of the companies that your students end up interning?
So the students here we have a number of companies that are are partnership with us.
Hmm.
I have been director for financial math program, and in the past, I go out to outreach to the companies to solicit these companies to offer capstone projects to our students.
Hmm.
So over the years, we had established this sort of very strong relation with the industry. So, for example, this year we have World Quant, we have JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley that offer projects to our students. So
Wow, that's great.
we, yeah, we also have crypto companies like GBV, like Animoca, that to name a few of them, that also like Huobi,
Mm-hmm.
and I like Tron, your company. We all have a very good relationship with. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those capstone projects kind of remind me of almost like the Tron Hackathon that's going on right now. We're actually running the hackathon. It's called the Tron Grand Hackathon, and there's three series of it throughout the year. The first one's underway right now. It runs all the way through May. The second one runs from May to August, and then the last one of the year goes through August, goes from August to November. So within that, people can enter projects in DeFi, NFT, GameFi, or Web3. I think I'm going to try to enter with that project Digis. I think use that as my entry. If I could just quickly, copy that. But it's a great event, and really, there's four tracks, and the first five kind of five leaders or winners in each track receive prize money, and there's a total of $500,000 that that's available to winners. So it's quite an event. Um, but yeah, it does remind me of those capstone projects.
Yeah, hackathon. Yeah, actually, I think the hackathon that you organized is really a very good thing. We had some experience in the past. HKUST also always have that hackathon called HackUST, and another
Oh,
one called
okay.
HardUST. Yeah, and it's been holding for past more than 10 years.
Wow.
And for hackathon. Um, I really think this is a very good way to find good projects. But more importantly, it's a very good way to find talents. To find people with passion, with the ability towards building crypto or financial technology projects.
Yeah.
And also, it's very nice to build a community because you get people with the same purpose, with the same interest together, and they may be able to find their own partners within the community. That has happened in the past. I know some of the projects that are actually, people regrouping from the original projects. They actually submitted it to some hackathon. So they learn from each other. So this is a very nice way to cultivate a community.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, for this hackathon, we have a project called Relive. Okay, this is DLive, right? We are on
Yes.
DLive. We have a project called Relive. Okay, and Relive has registered into the competition, and we'll see. Yeah, I
Oh, that's
hope.
great.
I think there will be more projects joining the hackathon.
Is
Yeah,
your hackathon open only to students or to anyone?
our hackathon is open to anyone. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
HKUST hackathon is not crypto. It's not crypto. It's just any
Mm-hmm.
innovative projects.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Um, okay. Let's see. I know that your school and you have had interactions with Tron in the past. Can you talk to me a little bit about what those were and what your kind of first interaction was like and how you got to know the company or
Okay, yeah.
organization, I should say?
Yeah, that's a very pleasant experience. I have several friends in Tron, and I have very pleasant impression. So in fact, because in the past I go out to have interaction with industry very often because I need to go to Shenzhen, go to in Hong Kong. I need to solicit companies to offer projects, not just to financial math program, but also to RMBI, the risk management program, and
Mm-hmm.
financial technology program. So I've been to Shenzhen, I've been to Tencent, Alibaba, Huawei, these big companies. And I have the impression that every company has its own culture, and these cultures are very important. And it's very hard to tell exactly what that is, but that I believe that contribute very much to the success of the company. Maybe some of the cultures or habits in those companies, I don't 100% agree, but they do prove to be crucial. And for Tron, I have the same feeling. Okay, I have I know people in Tron. They have the kind of characteristic. They are all willing to try something different, and they are outreaching, and they are responsible. So through those interactions, we had common interests of doing something different in the blockchain industry,
Mm-hmm.
and so we have the common goal, and so that drives our partnership, and I'm glad to see that happens. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
definitely
Tron has been successful. Yeah.
culture is
It,
very important.
mhm.
So, okay, great. Um, yeah, well, very good. What else is anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I might say something about, as I say, I'm an optimistic person
Mm-hmm.
about financial technology. I think this is an area that is really exciting. I just regret that I've been too old to be in the industry. Uh, but there are still a few challenges ahead, particularly in the near future. One of them is compliance. I always say that compliance is always the first thing. Okay, I teach a decentralized finance course, and in every class, when I talk about any protocol, anything innovative, you always put the compliance first. Okay, you need to comply with the local regulations, local policies, and international policies if there is one. So that is uh, something I think can be very challenging. Okay, because
Yes.
different governments have different policies, and we need to cope with that. We need to comply with that. Okay. The other thing is, I think it's the education. We need to bring awareness to a much larger population. Uh, Even now, people estimate that there are now slightly under 100 million wallet users. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
wallet users. This is a pretty seems to be a pretty large number, but think about that. We have 7 billion people in the world, so there's still that may be a good thing that there is still a huge potential to grow, but
Yeah.
I think to many people, even creating a wallet is difficult. So there are barriers over there.
Yeah.
So we
There
need
are.
to educate people to tell them the benefits of financial technology.
Yeah.
And
I completely agree with that. I think, and by the way, Tron is one of the most inclusive platforms because it is so low cost to use. Um, but yeah, the
yeah, totally agree. I
adoption is.
particularly,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I'm saying that I particularly like the slogan of Tron that decentralize the web. So
Yes.
it is Web 3.0 is about decentralizing web. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I really like that too. I like decentralization and everything it brings. Um, so I'm really excited for this whole, decentralized future as well as Web3 and everything that goes with that. I think it's really going to be very exciting and very beneficial. Um, but yeah, but so, okay. Well,
Yeah.
he is Professor Kani Chen, and Professor, I thank you for joining me. I have really enjoyed this
Me
conversation,
too.
and I'm really interested to about your interested in your work, and I'm excited to stay in touch and really track some of these projects, particularly Digis, which you said launches on Monday, really. So that's
Yes.
I think that's going to be a home run, and definitely you are
Thank you.
there's no way you are too old to participate in the financial technology space. It is open to everyone,
Mhm.
and
Agree.
that's what all inclusivity is about. So thank you very much
Okay.
again, and have
Thank
a great
you.
weekend.
You too. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.